Hello again. It is one of my weeks, so I get to pick what movie we talk about. We're going to talk about Blue Jasmine. We're going to talk about Blue Jasmine. Okay. All right. It's a recent movie.
Like 2014, 13?
We probably should have looked this up. We need
I'll
IMDb
put
things
it up
before.
there.
It'll be in the title. It's recent. It's not immediately recent. It was an Oscar winner that year it came out.
It's not immediately recent.
It
came out pseudo-recent.
somewhere.
You know? Like 10,000 years ago, they wouldn't have even known what movies were, you know? So this is a
What is this
newer,
moving picture? Okay, it's
newer movie.
It's not within the last year, but it's within the last 10 years.
Couple.
Yeah,
10
it's
years.
within, yeah. Okay, it's a Woody Allen movie.
I hate. Okay.
We can talk about Woody Allen as a creative person, or we can talk about him as a person. I don't really want to. I don't care for him. I don't really like his movies either. There's only a couple.
I don't like him. I don't like his
I
movies.
don't like his art.
face.
I don't like his humor. No, he has done some really great work. There are some movies out there with his name on them that are amazing movies.
Midnight in Paris.
Midnight in Paris.
Are good.
Like, I love
Purple Rose of Cairo.
Purple Rose of Cairo is a
good,
really good movie.
despite Woody
Yeah.
Allen. Fight me.
There are.
you hate Woody
There's a
Allen.
handful.
It's
on this
I'm writing
hand.
it down.
But there's a handful.
Flames.
Flames.
Heaving breaths. I can't stand.
I know. Okay, but I want to talk about Blue Jasmine because
Kate Blanchett's amazing?
Kate
Kate
Blanchett
Blanchett's
is
amazing.
a goddess. I want to talk about her.
I want to talk
She's
about.
so good. She was the Oscar winner for that picture,
Yeah,
right?
she won the Oscar for that. Mhm.
She's amazing.
Which is
Are you
super
gonna
well
hop down
deserved.
and hello?
Yeah.
Because she was
She-
the only thing that I remember really loving about that movie.
All right,
How
no.
dare
Peter
Peter
Sarsgaard.
Peter Sarsgaard's
The movie
cute.
is amazing.
The movie itself,
Yes.
Blue Jasmine,
Hello.
is functionally a very nice film.
If you haven't seen
If you looked
Streetcar
at it,
Named Desire.
exactly. The problem with Blue Jasmine that we all had.
Oh, yeah.
We all had this.
Because Teresa realized it before I did.
Yeah,
I
and then
literally-
she realized it because she likes Marlon Brando, and that's how come she saw the
I
movie.
mean, Marlon
Yes,
Brando's
because Marlon Brando.
No, I literally
problematic.
left.
Problematic.
Let's not let Jeanette get off on Marlon
Okay.
Brando. And also, what I was
I
going to
didn't say that. She did.
She's the one getting off on a tangent.
Yeah, off on a
Anyway.
No,
tangent.
for real though, I left
Yeah.
the theaters of Blue Jasmine being so angry because there's never a citation for
Right.
I
Nothing.
blatantly stole this from Tennessee Williams. I
Yeah.
mean, the story, the character names, the
Mm-hmm.
plot points, the action, the dialogue.
Well, there's
It's the whole
The-
story.
The crazy sister that comes in, she has to move in with her sister. She's not doing well. The sister has an abusive boyfriend. She finds another
Yeah.
guy. The entire movie is
beat for beat,
exactly
plot
the same,
point by
but
plot point.
modernized.
Exactly.
They changed a couple of
There's
things.
well, there are differences.
Well, the abusive boyfriend is not as bad as Stanley Kowalski.
No.
He's not nearly as gross.
Bobby
as Stanley
Cannavale is
Kowalski.
not nearly as
Yes.
bad as the Marlon Brando
But
character.
it was still a problematic relationship. It was still a toxic
yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
They literally threw the telephone, didn't
He
they?
threw the
Yeah.
Because
All
of
right.
the same.
No. The problem is that if you were watching Blue Jasmine by itself,
Yeah.
as a movie, it's
Then
a
it's a
really
good
good
movie. Yes.
But watching it, having already seen A Streetcar Named Desire, and then getting no citation,
It's
no
not
thanks
in the
for Tennessee
beginning,
Williams,
not
it's
based
not
on a play by
in the
Tennessee Williams.
credits.
It's not in the credits.
There's nothing that lets you know, and the problem is that again, beat for beat.
You know what the
this
problem
movie.
I had? It was exactly the same problem that I had with Due Date. Not to get distracted onto a different movie, but Due Date did the exact same thing. It was blatant plagiarism of Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which is a much better movie. And I know it's a movie from like the 1980s. Ooh, nobody's seen anything from the 1980s. How dare you? It's Steve Martin.
50 years John Candy. ago.
Exactly.
No one was alive then.
It's John Candy,
Yeah.
Steve Martin. It's a good movie about a guy that just wants to get home for Thanksgiving. And that is such a better movie than Due Date, because I know that Robert Downey Jr. tried. I
Yeah.
know that Zach Galifianakis tried.
They tried.
But the problem is they just took a better story, diced it in the wrong order, and then tried to modernize it by making it overly raunchy.
Overly gross.
crass.
Overly
Yeah.
There
crass and
are a
gross.
handful of crass jokes in Planes, Trains, and
Well,
Automobiles.
yeah,
it is
but-
not a clean.
Those aren't pillows!
But that's the thing, though. Okay, that for example, let's do that scene real quick.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a guy who's married, and a guy that used to be spoilers that used to be married, And they haven't been in a bed where they're sharing a bed with somebody else. And so while they were sleeping, they accidentally started cuddling. And then they had that kind of toxic masculinity moment.
It is.
Where you
Because
can't be
men
cuddling.
can't cuddle. And
But
it's like, you can cuddle.
okay, no, you cannot say it's toxic masculinity.
Because they did the pillows joke, though.
touching, and they did not mean to be touching.
If it
It's
hadn't
because
been
it's a
for
stranger,
that
not because he's
extra joke,
that one
though.
extra joke.
Okay, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay.
But what I'm
well,
saying
it'd
is...
be like in that episode of Friends where...
I feel like we're double tangenting. Don't do this.
Okay, I'm
Don't
sorry.
Just inception of a podcast. Sorry.
But what I'm saying
Friends
is...
needs to loosen it up with the masculinity. That's all I'm
That's
saying.
okay. But what I'm saying... let's not double tangent. What I'm saying is that movie, we have characters that you care about and they're trying to get somewhere. And then, Robert Downey Jr. is trying to get to the due date.
Yeah.
He's trying to get to
He's
the
trying to
birth
get
of
to
his
his birth.
child.
Yeah,
But the problem is the characters aren't built enough for you to care.
Yeah.
And so it's the same
that-
thing. If they didn't cite that it's Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, and if you've seen that movie, you know it's that movie.
You pick
just
up on the beats.
quietly.
Wasn't Blue Jasmine the same as Due Date, where we went in movie rouletting and had no idea what it was
I
about?
had no idea what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea that Blue Jasmine was even supposed to be like that.
And then just halfway through, you're like, wait a second.
Right. If
Oh, I
it
caught
had
it.
Kate
come,
Blanchett
No,
feels
but
an
if it
awful
had
lot
been-
like Blanche Dubois.
if it had been on
really-
screen, I would have been like, oh, okay, I'm on board. But having to figure it out a little bit was frustrating. It was just annoying because it felt like it was
Like,
rude.
this story is really familiar. Why is the story so familiar? And then you go, oh, wait a second.
Right. Well, because he even quoted Tennessee Williams without...
Well, the thing is, like, even if you were like, well, maybe he just wrote this and didn't realize that there was another story that was already it.
No.
You know that Woody Allen knows A Streetcar Named Desire. Apart from the fact that it's a beautiful, famous play, that Tennessee Williams is an amazing writer. Stella.
Everybody knows that reference.
Everybody knows that. So
Okay,
it's
over the hedge. Everybody knows that reference.
Apart from that, there was another Woody Allen movie made in the, I think, in the 70s.
Depended on the kind.
Yes,
Strange.
it was called Sleeper. It was actually pretty funny. Like, there's a handful of Woody Allen movies that are funny. Sleeper was pretty good. And there's a joke where his character in Sleeper gets his mind zapped. They drain his memory and then they try to put him back into reality without the memory of who he really is.
I feel like the other people in the room
seen
have
this
never
movie.
seen it.
Well, he was a modern man that got transported. I think he got frozen and then they dug him out later. So he's in the future, but with a 1970s mindset.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Okay.
Yeah. And so they were like, we have this subversive human he's rebellious because he doesn't know how to get in line like everybody else. So they erase his memories and try to make him be just a regular old person in their society, even though he's from the 70s. And the rebels kidnap him, get him out of that, but then his brain is messed up because of the mind manipulation that happened. And the character in Sleeper suddenly thinks he's Blanche Dubois. He's sitting there at a table, and he's literally quoting Tennessee Williams, and I will remind you, this character was played by Woody Allen. So Woody Allen not only wrote a script where he referenced Tennessee Williams,
He memorized it.
Memorized
Put it
it
in his
in
own
the play.
movie.
It's in there. So there's literally no excuse that Woody Allen did not know that Blue Jasmine was based on Tennessee Williams.
Yeah.
There's literally no, and I would be okay with it if there were some sort of citation.
Well, because that's what's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's such a good movie, but
It's
it
so
makes me so
good.
mad.
The
It
acting
makes
is-
me not want to watch it.
Well, yeah.
It's still paced
Yeah.
weird. Like, it's still, like, kind of paced weird.
Well, like I said, they're dicing it up and just
Yeah,
kind of
but
trying
it's
to
still
modernize
really
around
good.
a little bit. It's,
You know.
I mean, it's
Her
fantastic.
acting, there's a reason
Kate
she won the
Blanchett.
fucking Oscar for that, because her
Yeah.
having her panic attacks, I was literally, like, worried. for
Yeah.
her. Like, it was so good.
Yeah, she's an amazing actress. She absolutely deserved that accolade for that part, you know. And if
An accolade
yeah.
means it's an achievement.
I
like
love
an
you
award.
so much. Oh my
An
god.
accolade is an award for an
apparently
achievement.
I need to tone it down on the English
You're
majorness.
you're a little fancy.
Your lexicon is somewhat loquacious.
You're a little verbose.
I prefer the term salubrious. Thank you.
Sesquipedalian language.
Sesquipedalian. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry, but I think that. Okay, she needed all the props.
She did good.
Give that woman the
How about
props.
that? Just she
because
did good.
she's so good. She is a talented woman.
Mm-hmm.
And if you looked at that movie just by itself on its own, out of the realm of the past history, you know, like, If you
What?
looked at
Out of the realm of history.
if you looked at that movie,
I don't know what that means.
if you looked at that movie,
if you didn't know anything about history or movies, and you watched this movie,
if you didn't know about what's happened in our timeline, that Tennessee Williams was a person who did write plays and he wrote this play, if you didn't know any of that, if you went in totally blind, it's a great movie.
Right.
And the
wow,
problem
that's
is,
really, if you took that out of context, if you went in blind.
Oh!
Well,
wow.
Well, I mean, it
the
is Woody
Kate
Allen.
Blanchett, though, with the sounds. No, it's a good, solid movie. It's only when you start picking up on the nuances of, well, wait a second, this character's doing a thing, wait a second, this character's doing a thing. Mm-hmm. And it's beat by beat comparable to Tennessee Williams.
It's literally,
you can take the two plots and put them like this, and they're practically identical.
Hello, it's her dog.
He's back again.
He's a good
Yay.
boy. Yeah. Even though we told him he was not allowed to come anymore.
Yeah, well,
because he whistles on the microphone.
He is a sweet boy. He does not have opinions about Tennessee Williams.
Actually, if he knew...
if he knew, he'd be on our side.
If he knew who Woody Allen was... Like, no, okay, for real, though, can I just real quick about Woody Allen?
Yeah.
Can I
I
just
know
real
you
quick?
hate Woody Allen.
Okay, every movie... Okay, Purple Rose of Cairo is good despite Woody Allen. The worst part of the movie is when it goes full out Woody Allen. Yeah. It's when the characters in the movie are like, I'm talking about the movie that's on screen, and it doesn't matter what I'm saying, and I would cut this whole scene if I had anything to say with it. Like, I hate it.
It sounds like you're talking about that scene in Annie Hall.
No, but Annie Hall as well.
Annie Hall did that too.
No, they did that. They did that, and also in Midnight in Paris. I know you said you like Midnight in Paris.
I really like Midnight in Paris.
But it's the part where he's like, what is this, some kind of witch hunt? You can hear Woody Allen's voice.
The thing about
coming
Midnight
out
in Paris
of Owen Wilson's
Owen
face.
Wilson is Woody Allen in that movie.
That's
like,
exactly.
If that movie had been made 30 years ago, it would have been Woody Allen.
I like Hemingway. I like...
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean,
Tom Hiddleston was there.
Tom Hiddleston,
yeah.
I like the whole, like, history twisting thing, and I like Owen Wilson. And
honestly,
the music.
The fangirling that I did over
really
the literary people. Like, you know, Hemingway's walking around, Fitzgerald, and I'm just like, oh
Zelda.
my God.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda's there, and
Right.
Kathy Bates is there.
Oh, shit, yeah, I
forgot.
forgot.
So this movie, like, the fangirl in me was just all over it.
Well, it's because you get to hear them as people, but, you know, Zelda being like, you think my writing's good, but he hates me. You know, you get to hear her be like, I don't like... And that's the thing. It's like those characters are in there, but it's when Woody Allen comes in and tries to be like, I'm going to do this kind of weird, awkward humor.
Well, you know, Quentin Tarantino does that same damn thing, where it's a really good movie, and then it goes a little bit too much Quentin Tarantino. And it's normally
like
the very beginning conversation which starts the movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, I love him so much, but Christ.
Which, I mean, the man he has his monologues. That's the Tarantino signature, other than his, you know, his foot fetish and the way too much use of the N-word. I'm sorry, I don't appreciate it, Tarantino. Calm it down.
Did I ever tell you
but
guys
it's
my
fine
review?
to say it that often if it's historical.
No, for real though, did I ever tell you guys my review of The Hateful Eight?
I never got to see The Hateful Eight.
The Hateful Eight. My review,
good.
Everybody was frozen, so they couldn't do his foot fetish, so he substituted with way more use of, like, gore in the N-word.
Well,
that's my review of The Hateful Eight.
Tarantino has a style that he enjoys, and
it's feet.
He likes feet. He definitely likes feet. He likes Selma Hayek's feet. He likes Uma Thurman's feet.
No.
Like,
every movie. Except for, even Jackie Brown. No.
Even Jackie Brown.
That
was some feet.
He did it.
Oh, yeah, because she's in her apartment, right?
Yeah.
So...
But the point,
I think both of them.
And then there's the
Melanie
her
too,
stepping on the eyeball in Kill Bill 2.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, Uma Thurman's feet. He really likes Uma Thurman's feet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you said Uma Thurman, and I immediately went Pulp Fiction instead of Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because that's not even, like, the same at all.
Yeah, but she was
I was thinking of her feet.
Because Tarantino's got a thing for feet, and that's fine. You know, I understand.
Because the movie exists without that. But what I'm saying about Woody Allen is that moment stops the movie. Not just, there's Tarantino's foot fetish again. But no, I'm talking about the fact that it literally, it stops the plot, it stops the dialogue, and you just kind of go, I don't like this, and I'm out of the story a little bit.
Right.
And that's why I don't like Woody Allen.
Well, it, like, zaps you out sometimes.
It's a little it's
jarring.
Disjointed. And I'm not saying that like, he's not terrible. as far as filmmaking, because he has made...
say as a director.
His movies, there are a handful of his movies that I
feel like
really...
we're not talking about the elephant in the room.
We are not.
Probably
which
explain.
is
how he is a gross human being. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay. Well, okay.
What was that movie that he made?
It was
the movie that he made that was basically a defense.
It was called. It was.
To Rome with Love.
To Rome with Love. My parents, my mom and my dad, went to go see this movie, and shut up.
I like how you clarified my parents, and by that I mean,
just so you know,
she can have two moms.
I'm just saying she specifically backed up.
Anyway, my mom and my dad went to go see this movie, and they came out and they were very upset. And I was like, "Was it not a good movie?" Because we went to go see something else. I forget. But they were like, it's Woody Allen and he is using this movie to justify his life. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I need to research this a little bit. And it's...
Love is love.
Love is love, even though...
Yeah, no matter the age, no matter...
Love is love does not mean...
Pedophilia.
Love is
Let's
love...
Let's just be real. We're talking about pedophilia.
Yeah. Yeah, honestly...
Love is love means two adults no matter what kind of situation.
Yeah.
Not
if there is someone who literally was your child... no. Absolutely not.
Right.
If you adopted someone and you raised them as literally your child, no.
It is gross.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. That's why The Good Soldier's a creepy book. That's why The Good Soldier's a creepy movie. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know if you've seen it. Okay, Ford Maddox Ford wrote a book called The Good Soldier, and that's what happens. Uncle Edward falls in love with his niece.
Ward. And
then that's the creepy thing that happens.
Awful.
And then he goes, the world won't let me be in love. And that's the ending of the book. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but that's basically what happens.
He justifies in The Good Soldier, he has multiple affairs on his wife, but he justifies
the whole story.
He just felt so deeply and he loved so hard that he had to have these girlfriends because his wife was inadequate.
Not all love is justifiable, dude. And not all love is love. You know what I mean?
It's not. Honestly, if she's a teenager, back the fuck up.
Right.
Like, if you're not a teenager and she is a teenager,
even people that wait until their birthday when they turn 18 to be gross. Like, shut up. Go away.
So, there are...
Like, it's not her fault she's aging. Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's not her fault that... I'm just saying it's gross. It's gross.
It is.
Ugh. It is. It is problematic as hell.
Right. I mean, because a bunch of girls I knew, they did that with Justin Bieber. They waited until he turned 18, and I was like,
hey, he's legal now. We can lust after him with no repercussions.
Nasty.
It's like, that's disgusting.
It's wrong.
That's, it's like, I'm looking at this child, and I think this child is very hot, but I can't acknowledge that I think they're hot until they're legally...
Until it's a certain age.
So I have to wait, and it's like,
right.
I need you to not find the child hot. I need you to... You have to recognize that they're a child.
Yeah. Well, it's like that creepy scene in the... I don't know if it was in the movie, but it was definitely in the play, August Osage County, where the 14-year-old girl gets, like, drunk or high or whatever, and then the 50-year-old man...
marijuana.
Yeah, the 50-year-old man hits on her in the dark, and then everybody comes running in.
Yeah.
I do not remember that movie. I blocked that movie.
I'm quoting I read the play more recently than seeing the movie, but...
I didn't know it was a play.
It was a play.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But that's the stage, the description of the characters, that the man is 50 and the girl is like 14. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, that's not, you know what I mean?
First off, he's the 50-year-old adult here. He needs to recognize, first off, that he's in a relationship, and second off, that she's a fucking teenager.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's an issue.
The good news
people are bad is what basically is.
But the good news is that in Blue Jasmine...
Well, the good news in Blue Jasmine is that the Bobby Cannavale character does not physically go after Cate Blanchett like Stanley Kowalski does to Blanche Dubois.
Well, actually, in that one, was it a dentist scene? He did hit on her, but they just didn't go as far.
They didn't go as far.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It was there, but it wasn't as much, because the stage direction in the original play... I don't know why I keep talking about the original plays. So there was a play, but the stage directions...
There was, yes.
No, literally, the stage directions, I don't want to say it because it's really awkward, but the stage direction in a Streetcar Named Desire, the drum music gets more intense as he rapes her. That's the stage directions in the play.
Yeah, great.
And I was like, we know that's what happened,
it's
but
definitely, Stanley Kowalski, that's his sister-in-law, and that's just... you're not supposed. It's not cool.
Yeah.
And
what does it matter who she is? You don't rape people.
Well, yeah, it's not a cool situation, and it's
it's her sister-in-law. You know, shame. Fuck someone else.
Well, I mean, first off,
it's just not cool. Okay?
Well, just from a very basic,
not cool,
the bar
man.
is on the ground. You're not supposed to hit on your family.
Speaking of someone who should be on the ground, it's
you. Leave him alone. Yeah. So,
wow.
Okay, yeah, they don't do that in Blue Jasmine. In Blue Jasmine, they do the whole she has a boyfriend, but then he leaves her because she's got a really baggage-filled life. Yeah. Again, beat for beat, this movie follows Streetcar.
Yeah.
Like, beat for beat.
But the good news is we got Cate Blanchett.
And Peter
Sarsgaard.
And Bobby Cannavale.
We've got an Oscar-winning
film. Say that faster, Jesus Christ. Bobby
Cannavale.
We've got an Oscar-winning film.
Yeah.
So, overall, my thought
it's a really pretty movie.
Yes.
And I do like the movie, but it's frustrating just because...
Yeah. Overall, I wish you wouldn't have plagiarized, but it's actually a decent movie outside of that.
Yeah,
but
right.
because I can't get past
But then it's also
it's
not just the acknowledgement, it's also Woody Allen on top of that.
Right.
So it's like everything is making me go, I don't want to like it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, it's very
Woody Allen.
It's rough, is what
Woody
it is.
Allen.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, for real. We got Purple Rose of Cairo.
I like
and
Purple Rose of Cairo.
Parts of Midnight in Paris.
I do like Midnight in Paris.
I like
what
Midnight in
else
Paris.
of his whole
I like
career?
parts of
You
Annie
said
Hall.
Sleeper.
I like parts
don't
of
like
Sleeper.
Annie Hall.
And my father's favorite Woody Allen movie was Love and Death. And he really liked it because in Germany the title was The Last Night of Boris Grishenko, and Daddy was just like, yes, it's Love and Death over here, but over here it's Das letzte Nacht von Boris Grishenko.
Well, they do that though.
Like,
they do change titles.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
dramatic.
So it's not a bad movie, and it has that song by Prokofiev, with the sleigh bells. I really like that song. It's a classical song. I don't know if you know it. The soundtrack to Love and Death is really good.
I have no idea.
And I like Diane Keaton.
You always have loved Diane Keaton. Every single time there's a movie,
Diane Keaton. She is pretty and she is talented, and I like her in all the Woody Allen movies.
In fairness, Jeanette also likes Diane Wiest.
I do like Diane Wiest.
In fairness, she also likes...
Wow, that shift.
Let's just do a chain of names. She likes Diane Keaton. She likes Diane Wiest. She likes Michael Keaton.
I do.
She likes It's fine.
Anyway. Michael Keaton.
Okay.
So yeah.
So overall thoughts.
Blue Jasmine is a lovely movie. If it were standalone, it would not be nearly as frustrating. If it were a movie by itself, but watching it knowing Streetcar was a thing is so frustrating.
I mean, it's not like people don't know. I mean, people know Tennessee Williams. They know Cat on a Hot Tin Roof.
Yeah.
They know Streetcar Named Desire. Did he write Glass Menagerie? Is that just...
I think so.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, again, plays.
The man, he was
the point is,
for a while
he wrote a lot of stuff.
He wrote a lot of
and people know the references, even if they've
people
never
make
seen
them all the
that
time.
particular thing.
I mean, Stella. DreamWorks in Over the Hedge made a Stella reference. So, yeah.
It's just, it's everywhere. It's such a famous thing. And so it's just like, you think people aren't going to notice.
Okay, when you don't title something... or you don't credit someone, it makes me think you're doing it on purpose. That's my problem.
That's the question. If there had been an acknowledgement,
because
he
appreciates Tennessee Williams because he's obviously quoted him before.
He does, and I think I would respect the movie a little bit more if it were directly called an adaptation instead of just presented as its own thing. And it is just presented as its own thing. And again, its own thing is great. Cate Blanchett.
I mean, you could stop doing that. Cate Blanchett. For real.
I need y'all to understand Cate Blanchett's amazing in this movie.
But what I was going to say is that you can do that and still win an award. So Young Frankenstein, for example, was nominated for an Academy Award for an adaptation of a book because it's based on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, right? So it's
kind of fan fiction.
You can, so you can reference an original work but still do your own story and have that be fine and do that in a movie. And that's the problem, is that he didn't do that, and that's why I left the theaters angry, and I was loudly commenting, this is plagiarism of Tennessee Williams, in case people in the audience didn't know that, because I felt like you needed to know that it's literally the whole story all over again.
Yeah.
I was like, hey.
And, I mean, I wish that he would have acknowledged it just a little bit, because if he would, we would not have beef with this movie.
We wouldn't be doing this whole discussion.
It's a great movie.
Yeah.
We'd just be like,
It's a perfectly fine movie.
I mean, we'd still go off on a tangent about Woody Allen himself.
We would.
We wouldn't.
I would still glorify Cate Blanchett because the woman. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
the world is changing.
She's amazing.
Remember in The Talented Mr. Ripley? She was there.
She was good in The Talented Mr.
She's
Ripley,
so good.
too. I'd like to talk about that sometime in the future, because it's a good movie.
Not right now.
It's a decent adaptation.
Okay,
Thanks.
well, say goodbye.
Yeah. Okay.
Say goodbye.
Okay.
Goodbye.
I know you told me I'm not allowed to sing, but what about goodbye?
You're
so soon.
no.
And listen to the cry.
All right.
Goodness.
Thank you for watching our review of Blue Jasmine and our bitching about Woody Allen.
In that order.
Yeah. If you have movies you'd like us to talk about, let us know. We will 1000% talk about movies. And
Provided we've seen them, provided we've all seen them.
provided we can get a copy of them if we haven't seen them.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, yeah. We like talking about
Talk to
movies.
us, please.
Thank you for subscribing and watching and all of it. It's nice.
And everything.
Yeah,
And I love you. And goodbye.
Yes. Goodbye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.